But over a span of 1.3 million listeners covering North Florida and Southern Georgia, peace and welcome to the Impact Radio Show presented to you by the Florida Star. I am your host, Reverend J Frederick, also known as your African gentleman. And tonight we are joined by Mr. Ken Jefferson, candidate for sheriff and president of Jacksonville Sister Cities. Ms. Brenda Frinks will also be here. I will be leading us in our impactful moment. That is always my favorite part of the show, so please do not miss that tonight. We have a very fantastic show for y'all tonight. I hope y'all are excited. Y'all know that I am. But before we get into it, we ask y'all to please do business with the oldest, innovative, Black-owned, female trailblazing newspaper, the Florida Star. It is independently owned media. Weekly subscription also available at thefloridastar.com. That is thefloridastar.com. And one last time, thefloridastar.com. For those of you going out on this Thursday night, if you are getting dressed for a nice night out, we want y'all to call in now. Let us know what y'all got going on around in the area. Tell us what y'all got going on. Like, check in. The crew is waiting to hear what y'all are getting into tonight. So make sure you call 904-766-3401 before 8:50 p.m. and we'll take your answers off the air. In the coming weeks, we will be joined by a variety of different guests informing us on their impact in the community. There's a lot of potential good shows coming up. So make sure you tell everybody to tune in to WCGL 1360 at 94.7 FM, and also like us and share on Facebook, and let's help this audience grow. Our own director and writer, Vanessa Davis, will be following up on stories like how Auntie Corrine is doing. Join us here July 7th, 2020 at the same time for some more of the Impact Radio Show. Guys, this is the time when we get a chance to go in and take a good, news break. Today we have producing. We got Miss Shaun Holland-Powell and Miss Beach and Bougie is also producing in the house as well. So we just got to give a shout out to everybody. And we love you, Shayna. We know you always busy. Quick news break. For you listeners of WCGL 1360 and 94.7 FM, straight from the Florida Star. Even before losing the election, Trump aggressively pushed a big lie by Stacey Brown in PA Newswire. The second public hearing from the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection revealed that Donald Trump was perhaps the worst loser in political history. It also showed how alone he stood among an inner circle that couldn't convince him he had lost the 2020 election, and a team that failed to get him to call off the attempt at a coup. The results of the second annual Miss Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant at the Ritz Theater and Villa Museum are in by the Florida Star staff. The winner of the 2022-23 Miss Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant, Miss Michael Webster Bass. She is rising junior at Douglas Anderson School of the Arts for Musical Theater. She has a strong affinity for the arts, including acting, dance, singing, piano. She hopes to pursue a career in the arts, eventually reaching Broadway, Hollywood, and beyond. Hey, those are some good aspirations. Definitely shoot for the stars. Ignoring the plague of mass shootings, U.S. Supreme Court ruling allows more individuals to carry concealed weapons by Stacey M. Brown in PA Newswire. In a 6-3 decision that ultimately will lead to more people legally carrying guns in a New York law guns right advocates called restrictive. The constructive majority ruled unconstitutional a New York law requiring individuals to demonstrate a need to carry a gun before obtaining a license to concealed carry. This is an expansion of access to guns without restrictions. Sentencing Project report debunks myth of youth-led crime wave. by Stacey M. Brown, NMP Newswire. The DC-based research and advocacy nonprofit called the Sentencing Project has debunked a widespread narrative that youth crime has exploded during the pandemic. In a new report released on Tuesday, June 14th, the group said it had scarce evidence of new youth-led crimes. Crime wave. The report is titled, Data Reveals Violence Among Youth Under 18 Has Not Spiked in the Pandemic. President Biden established his White House task forcing addressing online harassment and abuse. According to a White House fact sheet, 1 in 3 women under the age of 35 in the United States report being sexually harassed online, and over half of the LGBT individuals report being the target of severe online abuse. Further, administration officials stated that individuals may also be disproportionately targeted because of their race, gender, and identity, ethnicity, religion, or any other different factor. Maintaining calm amid chaos, families pack go bags ready for natural disasters. By the 4-star staff. None of us are immune to disasters, said North Florida resident Perry Dorch. We enjoy the good weather when it's here, but when it's bad, it's really that too. Perry and his wife, Carolyn, leave nothing to chance when it comes to their safety. 2 backpacks full of emergency supplies sit ready for action in their home. Yo, we live in Florida. But the fun part is that we live in Jacksonville, so it is always fun when we go doomsday shopping whenever we see, all the Cat 5s coming, and we go and buy all the batteries and everything up, and then we sitting there like, when? But we're getting ready to go for a break. We want to thank you guys for coming to the Impact Radio Show, brought to you by the Florida Star. We're going to leave now for a media break. This has been the Impact Radio Show. Yeah. It is a mouthful.
Yeah. Miss Brenda is not going to be able to make it.
Okay.
Can you run the ad? It's under the brand. Yeah. It's the Vanessa Davis ad. When do you want to how many you want to run right now?
Let me get your. Can I have the do you need the headphones?
Fine. They kind of loud.
a message, what are you standing for, as you get ready to run?
Yeah, I am running for sheriff. It's not my first time running. It's not my second time running. This is actually my third time running. And let me give you my why before I tell you what I foresee in the near future for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. I really, after the last time that I ran, which is in 2015, we ran a great campaign. Everything went well. And on election day, it rained. And for those who procrastinate and wait till the last day to vote, they're not getting out in the rain to go and vote, stand in line and vote for a local election. That was proven. The turnout was very low. It was about 13% voter turnout. And then one of the major precincts in the 09 area had a power outage, and the people left and didn't come back once the power went out, even though it came back on in about an hour or so. But nobody knew that. So this is my third time running, and here's my why. I was actually not going to run, but because of the call of the people, everywhere I go, the restaurants, churches, gas stations, grocery stores, people would stop me and ask me if I'm going to run or compel me to run. Ken, please run. We need a person like you in that seat. We need to have change in the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and we believe that you're the one that can execute change. So after praying about it and consulting with my wife about it, we made the decision that we would run. And it's not running for Ken Jefferson, but it's running because of the people. I've heard your cry. I'm answering your call. And that's why I'm back in this race a third time, seeking this particular office. What I want to see with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is a relationship with the community. I want to reintroduce the police department back to the community, because right now it's disjointed. There's distrust. There have been some dishonesty. There's been lack of transparency. I want to restore all of that. I want to restore the integrity back to law enforcement. You know what gets the headlines? What gets most of the headlines when it comes to police is not the 98% of the officers that do a good job every day, but it's that 2% that mess up, that violates the policy, rules, and procedures, or even violate the law. That gets all the headlines, and then that puts a bad taste in the community's mouth. They'll throw a blanket over the entire department and say that all of those cops are crooked, bad, and so on and so forth.
And see, I can personally say that I've never had a bad interaction with police. My dad graduated from EWC with Sheriff Nat. Bishop Jane Goodman was my dare officer. I was excited whenever the officer friendly program came around. I remember all of those guys. But those are the guys that you don't, hear about. Matter of fact, a lot of those police officers and community resource officers I know are pastors now. But and those guys, they gave the life to the community. But the ones that you, like you said, that you hear about are the negative tone. So what are some of the things, other than just reintroducing people into the community? Like are you maybe increasing the time that they stay there? Because a lot of times, as soon as we get to know the police officer, they're gone.
Well, I don't know because they're out of beat and they're responsible for certain areas. So they're off 5 days at a time. So you might think that they're gone. They're not gone. They're just off. They work 5. They're off 4. They work 4. They're off 5. And they work 11.45 hours a shift. So they're working almost 12 hours a shift. And when I say reintroduce the police department back to the community, I'm not just talking about saying hey and driving off. I'm talking about officers getting out of the cars, knocking on doors, introducing themselves, giving them a card. My name is Officer whatever, Officer John Doe. I serve this area here. If you have a need, if there's an issue that I need to check out, here's my card. Call me. If I'm off, call dispatch, and they will send someone else out. But we need to get to know the community that we serve. The community that we serve needs to get to know the officers. How am I going to do that? Because the priority is calls for service. When you call the police, you don't want to hear, oh, they're out walking and meeting the public. They can't come right now. So that's not going to happen. What we're going to do is I'm going to give these officers 2 hours off of the radio. They're going to get out of their cars. They won't have the responsibility of answering calls for service at that particular time. They'll be monitoring it just in case something happens that they really need to respond to. But they will monitor the radio while they're out meeting the people in the community, meeting the business owners, walking around the neighborhoods and being effective that way. That's community policing. because I want the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to be a community police department where everybody knows each other. And then for those officers that I'm taking off the radio and putting them in the community to meet the community, I'm going to borrow officers from the other zones to fill that void for those 2 hours so that the calls for service won't go lacking.
I'm a product of the PAL to go interested in boxing because of the Police Athletic League. Dad is from military, went to a couple, tough schools in the, military. It's like, you're not getting bullied. You threw me in the PAL. I appreciate, the PAL. Almost every football team that I played on from middle school to high school, one of the coaches was a community the on-site police officer at school. So what is some ways that you would try to get the youth to have, better, communication with the police officers? Because the way my dad look at the police, the way I look at the police, and the way my children are going to probably look at the police is going to be, several different views. So as far as how, you may, have us, sold and have us convinced. Like, what is so that the kids can have a better, and not have anxiety whenever they see a uniform.
Yeah, the Police Athletic League is a great asset to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office because you've got, there are officers that's working there, but they all become mentors to the young people. They all become mentors. I had the opportunity, or the privilege rather, of coaching PAL basketball for several years. And, hundreds of kids came through that system. The Police Athletic League actually is the hook. That's the hook to get the kids there, to mold them and make them into productive citizens by after-school programs, computer literacy learning, and sports. Sports is really the hook that gets them there. And once they get there, we can incorporate all those other things. And I'll continue to have those programs going with the Police Athletic League, but not only just with the Police Athletic League. During the course of my 24-year career with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, I was a federal program director in charge of the drug education for youth. The closest thing that I can compare that with, that you may be familiar with, is called the DARE program. When the DARE Drug Awareness.
I was a member of DARE and part of ZIP.
Okay, so you know exactly what I'm saying. And the drug education for youth program was a little bit different than DARE. DARE gave you drug awareness resistant education during school hours. The DEFY program, or the Drug Education for Youth program, which I headed, went beyond school. It went beyond the school hours. And we had to have parental involvement because the program does not allow us to babysit parents' children. So the parents had to sign off and be involved with it. And that's what's lacking a lot with a lot of our young people, parental involvement. And I intend to incorporate a similar program like I did when I ran the DEFY program back then. That program, there were 99 of these programs in the United States, and they were ranked according to performance. When I took the program over, we were ranked 97th out of 99. I realized that there was a deficit there. I realized there were hurting kids that needed this program, that needed help. So I partnered with the public and the private. I made a public and private partnership. I went with the faith-based community. I partnered with the military. I partnered with the DOJ. And we came together. And within 1 year's time, that program was the #1 site in the nation, recognized by the United States Congress, recognized by the Department of Justice, recognized by the FBI. So as your sheriff, I would incorporate something similar to that for the young people, because you have to target young people between the ages of 9 and 12 when they're in their most impressionable times of their life.
Sir. Can you please let people know how they can support your campaign? What social media handles they can reach out to? What's the best way that they can help you in your case of sheriff?
Absolutely. Well, my website is www.kenjeffersonforjackssheriff.com. That's Ken Jefferson, the number 4, jackssheriff.com. On Facebook, you can reach us at Ken for Sheriff. And then we're all over the place outside of the social media. I mean, we're somewhere every day. Every day, my goal is to meet somebody new. And we got 850 square miles to cover, so we're all over the place.
Yes, sir. We literally just ran into each other not too long ago, so I do know that you are out there. Impact family, we would like to thank Mr. Ken Jefferson for coming through. He is a candidate running for sheriff. Remember to vote. Most importantly, we encourage everybody to exercise their right to vote. Our ancestors wore those scars for that privilege. This has been the Impact Radio Show, sponsored by the Florida Star, and we will be back after this break. All right. So that's about it. Welcome back to the Impact Radio Show, brought to you by the Florida Star. We just had Mr. Ken Jefferson on, letting us know how he is out here impacting the community. We want to let you guys know that we, will do our best to have all of the candidates that are running, because we believe in a fair race. But we thank him for taking the time out of his schedule to come by. But for those of you that are getting ready to get dressed and go out tonight, here's a Thursday night rundown. This event is brought to you by the Ritz Theater Museum. And once again, you can always, check the Ritz Theater out right down there on Davis Street. The Summer Breeze Music Festival is coming up at the Ritz July 16th and August 6th. Tickets go on sale soon. More information is at the richjacksonville.com. That is the richjacksonville.com. Once again, that is the richjacksonville.com. Also on the rundown, Brian McKnight is coming to the Florida Theater July 14th at 8 p.m. The theater has a new membership suite on the 3rd floor that is beautiful. More info at floridatheater.com. I have seen it with my own eyes. It is beautiful, and I'm really, really hoping that we'll be able to go. I'm praying. The next Vendor in Brunch event at the Cookbook Restaurant will be on July 16th from 10 to 4 doing brunch hours. We will have activities for the kids, a shady spot to rest, and on-site massages. Listen, y'all don't understand how excited I am about these on-site massages. Yes, we will have on-site massages and small business support. Search for Vendors and Brunch in Eventbrite or on Facebook.com. That is an African Gentleman event, by the way. So just in case y'all still need to decolonize your closet, remember, your African gentleman is the person that y'all need to come see. So the great thing that we have, about the community is that we have access to what our own media, the Florida Star. If you are interested in submitting your story to the newspaper, please contact Do and Talk. That's Do_Talk on major social media platforms. But this is the one thing that I'm very excited about for African Gentlemen. We do have a thing that we're actually announcing, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are a community leader, if you are a pastor, if you are, like Mr. Ken Jefferson, candidate for office, or you literally just, looking for some upscale, fashionable clothes, African Gentleman is presenting some Moonda Nights. But here's the thing. We're not giving invitations to everybody. We're giving invitations to those that are really trying to look like they have their own money. I know some of y'all brothers out there look like y'all, are ready to do that. So we are having that come up as well. But we're going to get ready to go ahead and dive in your impactful moment. So I know it's June, which means a little bit outside of football season, but everybody's getting mini camp ready. But the one thing that I loved about playing football, and this came to my mind because I ran into my old human resource officer from my high school yesterday. But the one thing that I love about football is on any given Sunday, you can be the worst team or you can be the best team. I played on both. I remember my JV year, we lost every single game. But it was the one particular game that I remember the most was the last one because we were playing against Terry Parker. They had won every single game. Now, we still lost, but we scored the most points that any other team had scored on Terry Parker that particular season. I had 2 touchdowns in that game, by the way. But the great thing about football is it's literally any given Sunday. A lot of people are sitting around right now going, my defense is a little shabby. I don't got the fastest receivers to keep up with the competition. I don't see no upsets coming today. But it is something about something somebody said in the media, where there's something another football team player said on the other side that got up under your skin. It's 99 to 1 chance that you could win this game. But you got something in your stomach this particular Sunday. And you end up being the FAMU Rattlers upsetting the Florida Gators when they ain't paying attention. You end up being the no-shot Bills getting ready to knock off the Patriots that nobody had no chance in winning. Any given Sunday, you know what? Your Sunday could just be around the corner. You could feeling so inequipped. You could really feel like that you don't have what it takes to make it at the job. That resume that you really inflated is really starting to show. The pressures of that job is starting to weigh down on you. But any given Sunday, this could be your Sunday. Whatever it is that's got to get you fired up, that's beating on your chest, singing "We Ready" in the locker room, this could be your Sunday. This could be your day of victory. This could be the win that you get that nobody in the media got. You know what media we talking about? Your aunties, your cousins, your snagger-tooth brothers, all of them people that said that you was going to fail, even ask you why you put your cleats on in the first place. Going to be real sharp when you go in there and you upset the number 1 ranked team and you was just the flyby team that they paid to be on the field any given Sunday. This has been your impactful moment with Reverend Carl Frederick, your African gentleman. We got to thank everybody. We got to thank Miss Hollandwood Productions with Dr. Shaun Carter. We got to thank Purple for Success. We got to thank the Ritz Museum. We got to thank African Lady, of course, and we got to thank African Gentlemen. We thank all of our sponsors and collaborators that help make the Impact Radio Show all that it is. We thank you guys for tuning in. We now return you to your regularly scheduled gospel music. This has been the Impact Radio Show brought to you by Full Stop. The headphones suck, people.